Reporting live from Buyout Island, where if Hugh Freeze doesn't show up with the bottle of Pappy he owes me, the rest of that buyout check may mysteriously disappear before his next tea time. Welcome back to Agent Confidential, Jimmy's Whiners and Losers, College Football Playoff Edition, Round 2. I'm your host, Faux Jimmy Sexton. A quick housekeeping note. Jimmy is still stuck in Twitter service Hades. Cecile has escalated. We've emailed. We've called. We've threatened to circle back. Nothing. So yes, there is now a new account at Faux Jimmy Sexton. Give it a follow. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell the compliance department. Tell a certain nationally prominent college football talking head with a sensitive block button to see if he blocks me. Again. We're not giving up on the original account, but after 16 days of radio silence, an agent who sits still is an agent who gets past. Plan B is in motion. Before the games, let's talk about news, rumors, and other poor life choices. Michigan. Yes, Michigan finally made a hire. Kyle Whittingham. Retired, respected, principled. Exactly the kind of coach you bring in when your program needs a shower, an exorcism, and a full institutional reset. This is not a splash hire. It's a stability hire. And frankly, after the last few years, Michigan needed an adult at the helm with keys and a rule book. Chip Kelly to Northwestern as offensive coordinator. Some people were surprised. I was not. Chip looked around college football and said, "You know what I miss? Cold weather, accountability, and being left alone." Evanston is perfect. No booster noise, no expectations, just film, football, and a nice quarter zip. His smoothies at the Tiki Bar were epic and tasted of protein powder and Tennessee Hills Distillery lemon-infused vodka. Buyout Island misses him already. Let's take a look at Auburn. Rumblings out of Auburn that Hugh Freeze Jr., also known as Alex Golish, is watching the roster head for the exits like it's TSA pre-check on Christmas Eve. Portal season has been aggressive. When your entire team starts packing bags, it's usually not NIL, it's vibes. It may be time for the Yellowwood Cowboy to step up and open that checkbook just a bit wider. We can't do an Agent Confidential without mentioning Kiffy. Lane Kiffin showed up at the Texas Bowl, chatted up the announcers, smiled for the cameras, and then vanished before halftime like a man who left his oven on. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a business trip. Short agenda. They saw my face. I'm out. Last week recap. Jimmy went 3-1 in round 1. My only miss was the U over the Aggies, and even that one came down to one throw and several poor decisions. Let's move on. Round 2. Let's pick some losers. Ohio State versus Miami in the Cotton Bowl, New Year's Eve. Mario Cristobal's Hurricanes head back to Texas for their second straight game in the Lone Star State. The Ohio State Buckeyes arrived with a mood darker than Ryan Day's beard dye. Miami impressed me against A&M. They were physical, they were disciplined, they were ready. Unfortunately, Ohio State is angry. And angry Ohio State teams tend to take it out on whoever's standing closest. Jimmy's loser, the U. The Orange Bowl, Oregon versus Texas Tech. Dan Lanning's Ducks head to South Beach. a region historically unkind to freshwater domiciled waterfowl. Texas Tech, guns up and blazing, rolls in from Lubbock, where Jimmy's pal Robert Earl Keene once said, "Lubbock is so flat that on a clear day you can see the back of your own head." The Red Raiders will throw it around. They'll make it fun, but Oregon's schedule has prepared them for this moment. Jimmy's loser, in a close one, Texas Tech. Indiana versus Alabama. The Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Kirk Cignetti's Hoosiers arrive undefeated, riding a Heisman quarterback and national darling status. This is rare air for Indiana. They are talented. They are confident. They are also playing Alabama. Kalen DeBoer's Crimson Pachyderms are the Freddy Krueger of college football. You think it's over, and then it isn't. Two things you cannot ignore. This feels a lot like 1992. Miami rolled into the Sugar Bowl with swagger, talent, and a Heisman-winning quarterback. Gene Stallings' Alabama team rolled them back out with a beatdown and the greatest play I've ever seen. George Teague's rundown and strip of Lamar Thomas. As Stallings said after the game, Thomas was running for a TD. Teague was running for his life. Number two, this is the 100th anniversary of Alabama's first Rose Bowl appearance, the game that put Southern football on the national map. History has a sense of humor. Jimmy's loser, in an upset, Indiana. The Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss versus Georgia. Pete Golding's Rebels arrive confident, rested, and carry enough skull to trigger airport security. Ole Miss looked sharp in round one, but Georgia is healthy. Georgia is rested. Georgia has been waiting. Kirby Smart does not lose games like this very often. Jimmy's loser, Ole Miss. And that's it for this week's edition of Agent Confidential, Whiners and Losers, College Football Playoff Edition Round 2. And remember, if you're not winning, you're whining. Twitter remains unresolved, so once again follow @FauxJimmySexton. The rebuild is underway. Buyout Island is packed for the holidays. The Freeze Tiki Bar is open. Chip Kelly left early. Cecile says we've engaged someone with a very particular set of skills to help resolve the Twitter situation. Air Sexton is wheels up for Pasadena. I'm listed as the Rose Bowl Parade Grand Marshal's emergency backup. Throttle, we are wheels up for Burbank. Oysters cold, bourbon neat, and the yacht rock loud. Get me out of here.